Uh, uh, my name is John Oluwatosin Akintala. Welcome to this online session. Sorry, I have sore throat. And I'm a bit nervous actually. This is my first time coming live. Sorry you missed my video. Tonight we'll be talking about resolution. First of all, my warm regards to media giants. I guess you guys are online and some other persons joining this live. I'm so sorry that we have to make the link a bit private. Yes, personally I'm not used to crowd yet, but with time we are going to reveal the channel to everybody. We are still working on the channel. As you can see, it's still empty. So let's dive into what brought us here today. So welcome to Team AVF Studio. As you all know, we are talking about resolution tonight. Some of you, the last time we met was in person. Last year we had a session, a media session in Kaduna at the end of this church. So this time around we are meeting online. So many of us here tonight we are familiar with OBS Studio. So please, if you don't know the software, I will recommend getting to know the software before you could dive into OBS in full, because what we're about to talk tonight you might not totally understand. So if you don't know the software, kindly indicate in the comment section so we can identify you, then we'll come up with the content soon to explain the basics of OBS. So let's dive in. What is OBS Studio? I know some people might be asking why this guy defining OBS Studio. Actually, I'm not trying to define. I want to explain why OBS Studio. So OBS Studio is a software used for streaming. It's an open source software. That's why it's called OBS. Open Broadcasting Software Studio. It allows users to record and stream video content from their computers. It was first released in 2012 and has since then become one of the most popular streaming and recording software programs among content creators. So I know some people out there are like, vMix today, yeah. But why OBS is more popular is because OBS is a free software. OBS gives you flexibility. You can easily customize OBS to best suit your need. As you can see from YouTube Live now, you can see my OBS screen. I'm streaming my desktop. I'm sorry, I'm using my desktop mic because currently I'm in a remote location, so I don't have access to my gadget yet. So OBS, as I said earlier, it's free. It's not owned by a particular person. Actually, it's owned by a community. So new updates do come up often based on people's idea, and you can also join that community on GitHub to also request a change or suggest a change to the community. And guess what? It will be added to OBS when you are part and function of that community. So let's continue. Why are we talking about resolution tonight? You see, I've gone around, meet quite a number of media people and been in different occasions, and I've seen how people don't understand resolution and how it's supposed to be handled. Personally, me, I'm more sensitive when going live or recording from my OBS. I'm more sensitive to my resolutions. Why? Because the resolutions influence the quality and the standard of your streaming when you are streaming with OBS. it influences it a lot. What am I saying here is because when you don't have the accurate resolution to go live, or your Canva resolution is not accurate with that of your input coming from your camera or your graphics, definitely you tend to warp your graphics or warp your camera input. What do I mean by warp? It means, in other words, stretching. For instance, if you can see my screen, I have this, follow my cursor, I have this resolution banner posters on my preview screen. Notice I'm switching them off. Now, when I stretch it, look out this, how this banner looks on my preview screen. If you can see this, you observe that the size of the banner is not same size at the preview screen. You know why is that? Because there is a mismatch in resolution, and it is called a base Canva resolution, this particular type of resolution. So the graphic designer made a 10 by 10 resolution design. Why me? I'm streaming in 1080, 1920 by 1080 in my base Canva resolution. So that's why the graphics is not same size with my Canva resolution in OBS. So when you now tend to stretch it, look at how this looks now. Don't like the way this graphics looks on my screen. Yes, because I stretch it to fit in my Canva resolution. So that's how many of us stream, and I know there are guilty people out there. When you see this, you know you are guilty. You do stretch your graphics like this. Same also your video source. You stretch it like this, and though it solved the problem currently at that point, but I'm here tonight to tell you that that's not the standard. That's not the standard way of achieving excellence. If you want to achieve excellence, so how do you go about this? First of all, I will lay down some possible way you could fix issues like this: resolution incompatibility with your graphics and your video source. Now, in video source, depending on your camera, whatever input is coming to your camera, you need to know the resolution. Like some cameras, they output 1080, 1920 by 1080, some even larger and some lesser, depending the kind of camera you use, and some you can change. But basically, we all know that the standard camera output coming into our streaming software or our streaming hardwares are basically 1080, 1920 by 1080, or 720, that is 1080 by 720. So automatically it should fit into your base Canva resolution, because personally currently I'm using 1920 by 1080 resolution as my Canva resolution in OBS. So when your graphics is stretched like this, as I said earlier, it's incompatible or it's not same size as your Canva resolution. So let me show you under graphics. If you can see my preview screen, you see how this one fits so perfectly without me being to touch it. Okay, sorry, I just find out that you can't see my preview screen. Okay, I will share it to you live now. So can you see this other one? Now, I believe you can see the difference between this particular output and the initial output that was there. So I personally designed the initial graphics and the current graphics you are seeing. I immediately get to know my base Canva resolution I'm going to stream at, and I designed my graphics in 1080 by 1920 pixels, and I designed the initial one 10 by 10 inches. That is 1080 by 1080 pixels. Now the difference here now is that one is looking so professional and the other one is not looking professional at all. So I'll put the two together for you to see. Just a moment. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to put together side by side for you to see. So I'm taking that up now, just a few minutes, sorry, a few seconds, don't mind me. So now I believe you can see the difference between this Let's Talk resolution and AVS Studio. This is the difference. One is intentionally designed to fit into the Canva, and the other was intentionally designed to fit into your web posts. So bringing the two, fortunately I have the two on my streaming software, and this is how some of us tends to use our graphics, even though our video source sometimes. So you can cross-check together and compare and contrast yourself and see differences. So I'm just explaining this to you randomly so you can understand the importance and why we need to achieve excellence when it comes to resolution when streaming, especially we that uses OBS. So I think that's enough. Let's continue. Now I'm going to be explaining why and the different type of resolution that is in OBS. Basically, we have two resolutions, forms of resolution in OBS, which one is the base Canva resolution and the other is the output resolution. Now, this base Canva resolution that we are having in OBS, the base Canva resolution is the resolution that enables you to capture your video, which we have explained earlier. That houses your element in your streaming software, and also help you house your graphics and other elements of your streams. You should set their base resolution. For example, if your monitor resolution is 1920 by 1080, as I said earlier, you should set your base resolution to 1920 by 1080, because that is like a worldwide standard. I believe you do go online to download movies, videos, and other video elements that we use for our streams, and we always see this particular resolution option, which is 1920 by 1080. Now, the 1920 by 1080 resolution is like a worldwide standard that people comes together to agree to use. So any content you download online, video content, are basically defaultly comes in this format. So that's why personally, anyway I'm going to stream or I want to stream, I automatically set my camera resolution to that format, which is 1920 by 1080, because any graphics I might have pre-made for the live stream or video element I might get will fall into that camera resolution automatically. I don't need to worry about the resolution or dimension or ratio, that which most of you might understand it as, to tally. So that's your base camera resolution, is the housing, the dimension, the aspect ratio, which most of you understand. I said earlier, because I met some group of media guys sometimes ago, and I told them base camera resolution. They were like, "What do I mean?" So it agreed that okay, it's aspect ratio, which most of you know, 4:1, 4:16, 16:4. Those is sounding more advanced. So let's stick to the base camera resolution. So that's your base camera resolution. So now, solving the issue of stretching, now you've known what your base camera resolution is. Now let's solve the issue of you stretching your video source or your graphic source. So before you live stream, now you know that okay, there is 1920 by 1080 in OBS. If you are the one designing your elements or you fetch your element yourself, this solution will be very easy for you. You could just design it yourself to the particular resolution. And if you don't know how to design or probably get the resolution, you can drop a comment, and I will, or probably when it's time for question and answer, we will treat how to go about that in graphic software and other stuff. But you need to know that achieving this standard is very, very important, and we should all acquire as media enthusiasts or worshippers in general. Now, if you're not the one designing or you're not the one fetching your streaming element online, you could communicate with your graphic designer and your video content creator that okay, I need this particular dimension or resolution for my streaming probably next week. So when they are designing the Sunday flyer, they could design it in two different posting formats, which is the 10 by 10 inches or the 1080 by 1080 pixels, and the one for the streaming, which is 1920 by 1080, which will fit solely into your base camera resolution. Now, let me catch some criminals. I'm going to use the word criminals because some of you, since the day you've downloaded OBS, you have never, ever even checked the resolution of your canvas or your output resolution. Yes. So let's dive into OBS settings. Let's see where and how to change our resolution. So go into settings, and here are the settings. So basically, I won't go into everything. Let's just go to our video settings automatically. Now, if you can see my cursor, you observe that these settings are grayed out. Why? Because I'm currently streaming with the software. So when I'm live, I can change settings. But you can see in the base canvas, there's a place where it is written. Look at my cursor. Base in bracket canvas, bracket close resolution, and that's where you can see my 1920 by 1080. By the side here, you can see the root aspect ratio, which is 16:9. That is the ratio Now, this ratio is another language that some people understand. It's like a terminology that other video guys or media guys understand. So you need to have that in mind too when communicating. Okay, you can use ratio. Some people they understand dimension. I say base canvas just now, and it sounds strange to some people. But when I say ratio, aspect ratio, some people understand instantly. So that's what you need to understand. Different terminologies. Now you can see the output resolution, which in bracket the road scale, which is this. Now this output resolution is the current resolution you are watching now on YouTube. This 853 by 480. This is what you are currently watching on YouTube currently. Now you notice there are two different resolution. Yes. Now let me explain. My base camera resolution, as I said earlier, for those of you that joined earlier, is this housing. Let me move this to the side. This preview box you are seeing now, that's from the edge 1 to edge 2 to edge 3 to edge 4. That's the canvas of the source. So now this camera resolution is the dimension, is the aspect ratio, whichever you understand. So which is 1920 by 1080. So I can input my video source into it, that is that same dimension, aspect ratio, or canvas resolution too, or graphics also, same thing. Then we move to explaining the output resolution. Now the output resolution is also a very essential resolution settings that we need to take note. Most of us, we've been streaming, and sometimes or most times our streaming lags, and we blame it on the network, innocent network that doesn't even know anything. Yes, we blame it on the network. So sometimes it's not really the network. Sometimes it's just we are streaming at a higher output resolution, which is very strenuous to our computers or our processors. Yes, we stream at a higher output resolution, and sometimes it's the network, because we have a very fluctuating network in this side of the world. So we need to take note that this output resolution play a crucial role to the smoothness of our stream. Yes, because why I'm streaming at this rate is because I know my laptop very well. I know the speed, the RAM, and the graphics card inbuilt that's inside. I know, so I know what my PC can handle. I could choose to go higher than this. Yes, it will work fine, but to make my PC last longer and we'll enjoy ourselves for a very long time, I choose to stream at this low resolution, so that the PC can work fluently. And guess what? I'm streaming at this resolution on my battery. It's not plugged to power. So I've been streaming for the past 33 minutes now, and I'm on battery, because I'm using a very friendly resolution, which is friendly to the processor and the battery. It's not consuming. But if I could stop this stream now and raise this resolution to a higher one, it will impact a lot on the processor, which in return the processor will consume my battery. I'm not saying you should stream with your battery in your church. I'm just telling you one of the importance of streaming. Let me say, cut your coat according to your material. Yes, cut your coat according to your material. So I'm streaming to the friendly rate that which my laptop can take. Yes. Now, some of us we don't even know that these settings exist in OBS. So congratulations, you are seeing it today, because that's where your settings lies, and you can toggle it before going live. You can change it before going live, so you can adjust it. But there's a shortcut I normally use. I always, anytime I go to stream, I show it to people that, okay, instead of going this long route of choosing which resolution you are supposed to stream at, you could also, there's a function in OBS which I so much like a lot. One of my favorite functions in OBS is testing my network. The software automatically tests my network and calculates my laptop speed, including the processor and the RAM and the network speed, and gives me a suitable resolution to stream at that fits my current state, my PC's current state, and the network current state. That function, I won't be showing it tonight. It's not part of what will be discussed tonight, but we're putting that as the later content. Just need to keep track and follow this channel. So that's another shortcut actually, but this is how the settings are being done. You see it, as you can see my cursor. This is where you change the output resolution. And if you feel that, okay, you don't know how to go about it, you could just copy what you are seeing on the screen now, 853 by 480, and when you get to your church, try to stream at the same resolution output. And notice my camera resolution did not change from my 1920 by 1080, because that was how I love it to be, because all my streaming elements are in the same resolution as my Canva, so everything fits so perfectly and it looks so standard and excellent when streaming. I have a couple of friends that do observe me. At some point last year, when I was in Kaduna, I streamed for a particular ministry, and the person that invited me over observed that I was so key on my resolution. Yes, I'm a person like that. I'm very key. I pay attention to my resolution. I pay very close attention to it, because if you don't pay attention to it, this is what is going to influence and affect your streaming. And we are streaming for a very long time. So if you are streaming for a very long time on your laptop, I would advise, don't stream at a very high output. Try to work on reducing it. Yes, because there's a level of clarity or output you can achieve with your laptop. Although there are some high-end laptops that could handle the output of 1920 by 1080. They are very high-end laptops, gaming laptops that could achieve that. But we don't have that. For you to have that, congratulations. I don't have that for now, so I stream at what is suitable and also delivers the job, get the work done. Yes, so that at the end we all win. I win by my laptop is in one piece, is alive, and they also win. My client also win because I streamed their content. So that's just one of the reasons you need to watch out for your output resolution. Secondly, you need to also check your network. Yes, your network, because this output resolution works hand in hand with your network also. And as I said earlier, it also works with your computer speed. So for those of us that are hearing this output resolution for the first time, the output resolution is the resolution at which you will be streaming or recording your video. The output resolution should be lower than your base resolution. Please take note, it needs to be lower than your base resolution, and so that it won't put a big stress on your processor, your laptop, but on that one. So a good rule of thumb, actually advised by some media guys around the world that I've met, and even myself too. I learned that I learned it by force. Uh, there was a time, I think last year, I believe Thomas should be watching this now, or somebody very close to me that was with me then. Sometimes last year or last of I was streaming at yes 1920 by 1080. I decided, okay, let me even try this resolution stuff and stream at a very high resolution. And guess what? I started streaming, and not up to 5 minutes into the streaming, the laptop just shut down. I believe we've all heard of the blue screen of death. Yes, if you know what they call the blue screen of death, I saw it that day. I was like, wow, it really hit the laptop hard. Yeah, so I learned the hard way, and I began to adjust how I put workloads on laptops when I'm streaming with laptops. But it's basically advisable that when you can afford a workstation, you get it. Yes. When you can afford a workstation, you get it. Okay, I think I'm seeing the comment. I will attempt this. Let me just round up. I'm about to round up. I will attempt. Okay, I'm seeing. I will just notify now that somebody commented this. Okay, Simeon. Good evening, sir. Does resolution only have to do with my graphics or my videos too? Okay, I will attempt this question. Let me just round up. I'll come to questions. Please, if you have questions, you watching me, please drop them in the comment section. I will attend them before I round up. It's 9:41. By 10, I think we should be done. By 10, we should be done. It's late, so I don't want to keep everybody online. We have other things to do. So let me just round up that. Okay. So this is just the two things I've been talking about since morning: your base camera resolution and your output resolution. It's very, very important. They're not just settings that are there for you to look past. You need to pay attention and know how it works. Yes, you need to pay attention and know how it works. So let's go back to our OBS info. So I believe we understand the resolution now, the base camera resolution and the output resolution. So please keep your question coming in. Keep your questions coming in. So let me attempt Simeon's question. Simeon asked, I go again. Good evening, sir. Does resolution only have to do with my graphics or my video too? Actually, it doesn't have to do with just your graphics and videos too. But I was emphasizing on your video source, on video element and your graphics, because those are the things we basically use often when going live. Yes, we basically use them often every Sunday to Sunday that we go live. We use graphics, we use video, we use cameras. So it's very, very important. So instead of we stretching them, so when you understand how it works now, you could know the resolution your camera is outputting to your capture card or to your video mixer. Yes, that's your video hardware, mixer hardware. Then you can now adjust your camera resolution to fit to the video that is coming in, or adjust the video that is coming in to fit into the camera resolution. So you don't need to be stretching. Now, Simeon, attempting your question, now it doesn't have to do with just your graphics and your video. Yes. Now, resolution plays a role. There is another part of resolution that we talk about two parts. If you pay attention, Simeon, There's the one that goes out live for people to see. Yes, which is the output resolution. Understanding that part of the resolution helps you maintain a smooth stream. Yes, helps you maintain a smooth stream. Those of us that do have lagging stream, why one of the reasons, please quote me, one of the reasons why your stream lag, one of it is your resolution might be too high and your network, or either way around. Yes, that is one of the reasons your streaming might be lagging. So it doesn't just apply to your camera, your video source and everything, it also applies to your output too. So it might be one of the reasons. So check your resolution settings today if you have been experiencing lagging videos when you are live streaming. And sometimes you observe that your system probably do make noise, probably the fan increase when you start streaming. Yes, it will increase, but when it's now excessively increasing, you need to check that if you are not overloading or overworking your laptop by increasing your resolution output. So the camera resolution is also very important. So that's the camera resolution. That's what deals with the video, your graphics. That's the source. Yes, it deals with them. So is that you adjust your graphics that you're bringing in or your video you're bringing in to fit into your camera resolution. Please, I'm emphasizing on this stretch because I do watch some streams online and I was like, you don't necessarily need to stretch these graphics. Design something in the car, having in your own streaming software. This also apply in vMix. People that use vMix Wirecast. It also applies to you guys too. Yes, it doesn't just apply to people that use OBS, but I just love OBS, so I focus it more to OBS tonight. If you're wondering, I don't like vMix. I like vMix too. I use vMix quite a lot, but not often a lot. I use vMix when I don't have access to my OBS. I use vMix. Yes. I've been to some events before and I met vMix there. And the person that put me on a challenge that if I'm going to be able to operate vMix. And I did. And let me even shock us. vMix was the first streaming software I used before using OBS. Okay, I'm seeing the second question. Olasami. Okay, thank you. Say good evening. Thank you for my question is, do different social media platforms